let's get down to it. We had a big weekend of boxing. We had the Scott Raw Frampton match going on. But I wasn't too extremely excited about that fight. It was pretty long overdue in my mind. I was really excited. I was tuned in to the Terrance Crawford versus Hank Hammer and Lundy. I was extremely excited about that fight to see what Terrance Crawford, or TC like I like to call him, I was very excited to see what he was going to do and what he was going to bring to the ring, because it's been highly anticipated. Everyone was pretty much disappointed he didn't get that match against Manny Pacquiao, and I think Manny Pacquiao was very smart to turn that fight down at this stage in his career, because, man, this kid, Terrance Crawford, is not to be messed with. Oh my God. For those of you who tuned into the fight, round one started off both guys gunning for each other. Both guys looking to make a statement, coming out hard. Oh man, it was great to watch as a boxing fan. But the more that fight went on, more Terrance Crawford started to settle in and just systematically just dismantle Hank Lundy. And Hank Lundy is not no pushover. He's not one of the top elite guys. You know, he's not in that upper echelon. But Hank Lundy is a guy that no one is just going to go in and just beat down and just do whatever they want. He's just not one of those guys. He's a guy with a ton of heart. He has good skills. You know, if he would have came in, you know, maybe at a different time in his career, he probably could have been a title holder. But, you know, he hasn't had all the best breaks. But Hank Lundy ain't no bum. He's not no slouch. And you got to tip your hat off to that, man. You know, it's not too many old school fighters like Hank Lundy anymore. But Terrance Crawford just did whatever he wanted, which was impressive. You know, Hank Lundy, he landed his shots, he got him in there, but Terrance Crawford, you know, he's going orthodox on him. He's switching southpaw and immediately throwing that right hand and then throwing that right jab and popping him with that left hook or the overhand left. Immediately, it's almost like immediately he turns southpaw. He's unloading something completely vicious on whoever his opponent was. And this weekend, it was Hank Lundy. Oh man, it was brutal. It was very brutal, and I appreciate it as a boxing fan. And I was seeing a lot of things on other channels, and you know, just reading around on other boxing forums and things like that, that TC is in people aren't happy with him for some reason. One channel, they pretty much were saying he's picking on smaller boxers and smaller fighters, and I've seen a lot of that in the comment section. I don't know where that started from or popped up from, but who wants to fight the guy? Honestly, I really don't know who's jumping up to fight Terrance Crawford right now. You know, it's like at this stage in his career, you know, he's an upcoming star. He doesn't have the superstar sellout name, and he isn't a huge name right now because he's still young, but he's in his prime right now. If he's not at his prime, he's getting close to his prime, and that's very scary that he might not even be in his prime right now. And it's just this narrative now that I'm starting to see form, because you know when you're great, you know, they always have to have something to knock you. You know, that's how you know you're great, though. And you just gotta appreciate that. Every time you start making a name, you know, it's rumors and lies and excuses and stuff they try to throw at you. But you know, the real champs come through that. But just as you guys, the viewers, and you know, boxing fans, if I want to know your opinion, or I want to hear what you guys have to say, if you believe that Terrance Crawford is picking on smaller fighters, because Terrance Crawford was supposed to get the Manny Pacquiao fight. You know, it was almost set in stone. You know, it was almost a foregone conclusion that Terrance Crawford was going to fight Manny Pacquiao in almost like the passing of the torch fight, and it was going to be Manny Pacquiao's last fight and all that, and you know, they were going to sell this fight. But when that fell through, it left Terrance Crawford with a very limited amount of options to fight. So who else was there left to fight? I can't, I can't even really think anybody, because, at that point, everyone was booked up and scheduled. And then on top of that, there's not guys lining up to jump into the ring with Terrance Crawford. And, when you fight Terrance Crawford at this stage of his career, like I said earlier, he's not in the superstar phase or the big name phase where when you fight this guy, you're getting a big paycheck. You fight Terrance Crawford, you might be lucky to get $1 million to fight Terrance Crawford right now, give or take. So, you telling me guys are just jumping up to fight this beast and this monster of a fighter, and you're not really going to get that big of a payday by fighting them, win or lose? If you beat them, yeah, you're going to have a name, and everyone's going to look at you as as a beast and a new top dog on the butt. If you lose, you just lost. Your name's going to go down the drain. You didn't get that much money out of it. So a lot of fighters look at it as a fight they really don't want to take. A lot of guys back away from that, where they figure they could go fight someone else, and they could go and make a lot more money fighting someone else who isn't as good as Terrance Crawford, and they could beat the guy. So, why would you? And just, a lot of these guys nowadays, it's not how it used to be back in the day where, the best guys would jump up and fight the best guys on some real pride, egotistical type deal. Guys aren't doing that no more. Guys are looking at themselves as a business. They want sponsors. Everyone's trying to be Floyd Mayweather. Everyone's trying to get those big checks. And what these guys fail to realize is you don't get to a Floyd Mayweather stage, De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao stage without fighting the best guys. And Terrance Crawford right now, he's flat out being ducked. I'll tell you that straight up. The only guy I know that's not ducking him, and that seems like he wants a piece of him, is Victor Postol. And Victor Postol, he's the real deal also. I got a lot of props for this Victor Postol. The way he did Matisse and Lucas Matisse, oh my God. Oh, the way he was just keeping that jab on Lucas Matisse and pounding him in, man. Lucas Matisse said he didn't want no more. And Victor Postol, he's a real long, rangy guy. He has nice power. A lot of guys don't think he has power, but in that fight, if you look at Lucas Matisse, he was feeling that power. You ask Lucas Matisse, I bet you he say Postol got some power. A lot of other guys who ain't been in the ring, or a lot of other guys, they might not give him credit for it, but Postol got some power. And so I'm hearing, rumors and, little talk and all these sites that Postol and Terrance Crawford are going to fight in June, or they're trying to set that fight up for June, which I would love because, as a boxing fan today, we don't really get too many fights that we can appreciate, like Crawford Postol fight. Someone's like the best fighting the best in a division. And in this generation, the best aren't really fighting the best no more, or you rarely get it. And for it to happen nowadays, it's all these negotiations and all this and that, and the purse bid, and it's just a ton of BS that goes on nowadays, where a lot of the best fights don't happen, or when they happen, the guys are older. The guys are so old, and it wouldn't be, it's not what we wanted. We don't get these guys in their prime, how we all would love to see. Like another fight I can think of, I have to make another video to go on this topic, but Adonis Stevenson and Sergey Kovalev, I would love to see these two guys get into the ring, but it's just so much BS going on with the promoters and negotiations, and it's just a headache. And as boxing fans, we're the ones who suffer because these guys are already rich. But back to Terrance Crawford and Postol, I don't want to get off of this. If that fight were to happen in June, I would be extremely excited, because whoever wins that fight is the king of that division. And I believe if they did fight, it would be a rematch. Probably not right away, but maybe if they both moved up, later on in their careers, it would be a rematch. Or maybe if the fight was exciting, it would definitely be a rematch. But that would be a killer fight. I don't think there's anyone in this world that wouldn't want to see that fight. Both of those guys are I want to say boxer punchers. You know, these guys have great boxing IQs, both of them. They both use the jab, you know. They both were very crafty in the ring, you know. They both have a high IQ. It would be a terrific fight to watch as a boxing fan. I would just appreciate that fight. But, yeah, and on the narrative, you know, back onto this narrative before I get out of here. For the people who think that he's picking on smaller fighters, go in the comment section and tell me how you're feeling about it. You know, make your point. Tell me why you feel this way, because I'm really curious to see where this came from, and really, you know, I just want to hear how you guys feel or how you guys think, because I just don't think that way, or I don't see it at all. So I have a lot more content coming on the way. You know, this is just my first video. I just wanted to get this out of here. I was very anxious. But I'm definitely going to step up my videos. Definitely trying to be a great channel for you guys to turn to for all your news, boxing, football, all sports. So stay tuned, subscribe. It's CT, the sports plug, coming at you.